So I figured I'd play a little bit of that upside down world, because if you think about it, we see the sky in a certain way because that's the way God made life. He made it with the sky above and the ground beneath, and everyone lives that way. That's how we live. That's how existence in reality is. So what's on your screen right here, that's upside down. Everyone knows that. That's not right side up. The lake here is on the top. That's not right. I hope my audio is okay. I tried fixing it a little bit. My last video was kind of weird. Or it was a little bit distorted. My microphone was. So we'll see how this one turns out. I'm no genius when it comes to sound and all that stuff that YouTube people usually end up having to do. So there's a reason why I'm showing this upside down though. Here, let me go skip a little bit further. Let's look at this. Okay, this is a lake that I live. It's like less than a mile from my house. And actually, maybe my house is right here somewhere on this video, to be honest. My house is probably like, let me think here. My house is probably over here or something. I'm not sure. I don't even know which direction I'm looking because it's upside down. But this is the horizon. First of all, let me make sure, I forgot to do something. Let me make sure that you guys can see what I'm seeing. Okay, good. Yeah. These are clouds. Notice how, let's see here. I guess the drone is slowly kind of moving around, but you can see a car going by on the road right there. Why would I have this playing upside down? It's because I want to point out that we all experience a world that's the same. Yeah, we all have this line about in the center of our, I mean, you can either kind of imagine it, or you can go to the ocean and you could probably get the best view of the horizon, or the clearest view of where the horizon is. And that's how our eyes work. That's how, if you were to stand on railroad tracks and look as far as you could see on a straight railroad track, you know what you're going to see. You know how the eyes work. That's fake rain, by the way. That's CGI. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, so that was just something I wanted to show you. I want to point out that everything, and what I mean by that is there's a line in the center of your vision. When you stand up and you look out at things in the world, you look away from, you look anywhere basically, but if you look level, you will see the horizon. And the sun is going to go down to the horizon, and if you threw a bowling ball far enough, if you rolled a bowling ball far enough, it would also do what the sun does. It would appear to go into the horizon. That's how it works. Some people call it a vanishing point. I tend to think that that's kind of an accurate way to look at it. Okay, let me get this out the screen. Okay, check this out. These are all things we're just going to check out. We're going to look at. And I might want to play, let me find the right one. Okay, this one. I want to play this video first, and just as I'm driving here, I'm pointing out some things, again, that we all experience, just the reality we live in. There's things we see on a daily basis, and when we point them out and kind of look at them in certain ways, I have been able to see, and, a lot of people have been able to see a different way to understand it, and to me it makes way more sense. That's why I'm talking about it. Let's see here. Yeah, let me just play this video. Hey, looking at the clouds, if the sun was going to go down at the horizon that we're seeing right now,
on this image or this video. If the sun was going to go down, it would be behind those clouds that the sun would be going down, right? And if you notice, as we come up over this hill, we might be able to see a lower horizon, but it just starts looking like the bottom of it, all these flat looking clouds at the bottom. So if you look at the bottoms of all these clouds, there's a flat surface that they're almost sitting on. Look over here. See that? You can see the flat surface. And so I'm thinking of it in a different way than the sun being above the clouds and the clouds being next and then us down here on the earth. Like, that is what it is, but I'm thinking of it as far as, from my perspective, the clouds always come first, and then the sun is always behind the clouds. So, see, as we look off in the distance, see how they just kind of start. See how the clouds are, you know, a distinctly different color than the sky right here. But look down towards the horizon. There, I'm zoomed in all the way. See that? They're not defined in the same way, and we can't even see any blue sky down there because we're looking at the clouds at such a steep angle at the horizon. They're still way up in the sky, but they're so far away. It's like they're more dense down there, but really they're not. It's just that they're far away. So I thought this was the perfect day to talk about that, the sun and the clouds, because what a beautiful.
Okay, so hopefully what I'm pointing out there is that when the sun's setting, every one of us is closer together down here. I mean, like far, let's say 10 miles in front of me, the clouds they're just like this. They're just kind of here and there with tons of blue sky in between. But as you look down, just picture the railroad track or the road or anything that you're looking down that's straight, you know, like a long hallway, you know you're going to see the center, at the center of your view, that everything's going to kind of just go there. Like everything's going to point to that. Like if you were to draw lines, it would point to the center of what you're looking at. And so when we're looking right down here, here's where the sun would set, right? I wish I had a way to just put something on the screen. I probably do, but I don't want to try to do that. Like, how big would the sun be in this image? Let's see. This sign right above my air. Oh wait, can you see that even? I'm here in the middle of the screen. I don't know if you can really see me, but like, how big would the sun be? Would it be as big as this opening in the woods right there? No, it wouldn't even be that big. So you got to keep in mind that when we're looking at sunsets, like if we're going to zoom in on them, we've left, in a sense, we've left reality. Because if we're going to look through the eyes of a camera that's got like a whatever size lens, it changes the way things look. It really does. Because you're seeing, let me think of, I think I have an example. You know what, let me just try something. Okay, it's unrelated, but I will be able to show you the video. If you see the title, you'll be like, what? Let's see here. Let me go to my channel, and I just remember a keyword was Bible says. Okay, it's this video right here. Bible says Flat Earth 2021. But there's some footage in here that I want to just, it'll help me make my point, or it'll help me show you what I'm talking about. There. Let me just pause that and go full screen. Hey. Okay. Full screen. So this, I took a video just of the road. And it's not a flat road by any means. It has, you know, It's kind of some rolling hills, but let's go back. Where was that? Come on. Sorry guys, my computer's very slow and I'm just being patient with it. Okay. We're going to play this. Oh, let's go full screen and then we're going to play this. And I want to just point out a few things about this video. So this video, it looks really weird. And even the vehicle that's going to be driving on this road looks really, really weird. But there's a reason why. And I think it makes the point that when I zoom in on the same thing I'm looking at, how's that going straight? What is going on? Do you guys get what I'm saying? That is, it's a, how do I put it? Sorry, I'm getting choppy here. It says no data too. Let's just do this. Let's just let it play for a minute. See all the ripples? You can see the ripples in the tar. You don't see that in real life. You don't see a vehicle driving like what looks to be very crooked up a straight road and somehow keeps on the road, but it looks like it's going towards that white line, doesn't it? Wait, what's going on? Okay, the point I'm making is that, okay, look, let me pause it here. Okay, this stop sign, this is so far away from where I'm standing. This stop sign is, I'm just approximating, it's got to be over 2 miles. It's got to be more than 2 miles. So it's probably about, let's just say 2 miles. So this stop sign, and there's no way I can even see that. Like, I can see, if I'm standing there, I can look that direction and I can say, yeah, I know there's a stop sign there because I've driven over there. If you guys can help me out in the chat, I'm just curious, is it cutting out, or like, is it buffering or anything really bad? Because YouTube's giving me alerts telling me it's horrible. But if you guys can just give me some indication in the chat that you're hearing and seeing, because YouTube's not helping. Yeah, that stop sign is like 2 miles away. And have you ever seen a turn lane like this? Whoa, that's quite the turn lane. Good thing they gave you about a foot to stop. Like, I can point out, have you seen road, this is not what we see with our eyes, you guys. But it is what's there. It's an accurate, what's the word? It's like a representation of something, but it's not actually an image of something. It's not actually an accurate image of anything. Same color, same road, same kind of cars, same all that. But it's not reality. So when we're looking at the sun setting, let me go to a different video for, okay, this right here. This was taken by Wide Awake channel, and there's let's see, I'm gonna put a link in. I can't. Wide Awake channel on YouTube. If you go to his channel, you will see. Thank you, Thomas, and thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Tony, and thank you, everyone that's here. So Wide Awake channel took this video. He's in Florida and he takes awesome videos. I would suggest checking them out. Let's just watch this. So keep in mind the video I was just showing you about that sideways driving car. Okay, keep that in mind. But look at this. This is pretty cool at the end. Watch this. He gets some good videos. And of course I sped, or one of us sped this up. But that's just wild. But that's not necessarily what you're going to see with your eye. You'll see it, but it might not look at all like that. Because, actually, let me make a comparison. See this line in the water here, and this one here? Like, this is however many miles of water. It's a lot, quite a few miles to that horizon, but remember the video we were just looking at right here. Just think about that. See this line? Let me go full screen. See this line right here? And this line here? Oh, and this line here? And this line here? Oh, there's even one in between them. And this one here, all these lines. That's because there's a change in the height of the ground. Or in the case of the other video we were just watching of Wide Awakes, that's just a change in the height of the water. The water's higher or lower there. Like, I think it's higher there, you know? It could be a gust of wind. It could be anything. But it's more exaggerated when we zoom in on it. All these lines are more exaggerated. They're closer together than they actually are in reality, and that we actually the way we see them. Okay, so I'm gonna close that out. Thank you, Wide Awake. I love your vids always. Okay, we'll keep that one up just for a reference, but let's watch some sunsets from my drone, which are very interesting to me. So the ones we're going to be watching, I've flown to 1,500 feet, so it's not that high. But it is enough to get out of some of the thick atmosphere. And believe it or not, when you go, like if you watched a sunset while you were on a flight or something, it would look different than it does on the ground. Quite a bit different. Not every time. Sometimes it would look the same. What I'm saying is you'd see a lot of different ones. And yeah, YouTube's giving me trouble still, but I can't do anything about it. I'm just gonna keep going. So these are 4K videos, and we're gonna go full screen. Let me open my program first. Okay. Full screen. We'll just watch some of these, and I'm just going to show you, because I'm going to zoom in on these a little bit. I want to show you some, it's just interesting. Okay, you know, you can see the air right there, that it's thick down there. I mean, it might even be foggy or whatever, but actually that's a great comment in the chat. Tony Whitcomb says, disappearing bottom up occurs on a flat road or anything that's flat and level, no curve needed. Exactly. And when we're up 1,500 feet, we're going to notice a consistent thing that happens that doesn't happen when you're watching a sunset from the ground. Something happens at 1,500 feet. So like if you were to watch it from even a small little mountain, it's going to look possibly different. But see, the mountain is the ground, so that like getting up away from the ground, I think. So it's not necessarily the elevation, but getting up away from the ground, you see it a little bit different. So I'm just going to point something out about this. When we watch this, you'll notice that that exactly what Tony Whitcomb said. The sun starts disappearing from the bottom side up. Just like we've all seen a sunset, it appears to go into the ground. But the difference of these consistent, these flight, these 1,500 feet videos, I'll call them, is that you can still see the whole sun. It's setting, but it's not the ground. The ground's not in the way, but it's still setting. I don't know how to explain that. You can still see the sun as it's fading out, but it's disappearing from the bottom side first. And it's above the horizon. The horizon has nothing to do with it. It's interesting. So I think this video probably shows that. So let's watch it, and we'll zoom in a little bit even. Yeah, this is one of those videos. Now I'm zoomed way in. Sorry it's so grainy, but I want to show you what it does. Look at that. It's disappearing from the bottom side first. And then now we're going back down. You have to keep that in mind. With the drone, it's flying back down to the ground. So it just gets dim when we're down there, and then you almost can't see it. And again, it's disappearing from the bottom side again. Sorry, it's so choppy. I was trying to zoom in and... Okay, so we're gonna watch that again. That's my neighbor's house. Sorry, neighbor. Not trying to put you out on YouTube. Doesn't matter. Let's go. Okay, so... Sorry, I'm getting so many issues here. Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit again, but not so extreme this time. Oops, there we go. This is the same video. So I was just showing, you know, just a little bit different of an angle. Isn't that weird? So you can almost tell, you know, I'm just talking out loud. You can almost tell that the air's getting thicker between you and the sun as you go down. See that? It's almost like it was like nearly disappeared by then, by the time the drone was all the way down. That's one of the interesting things about the drone video too. They just happen to be, if I keep recording, as the sunset's done and I'm just taking the drone back down. If I keep recording, it kind of gives us a little bit of perspective on what it looks like as you go up and down a little bit. And it does appear to be different, like almost every time. Now this one I think looks even different than the one we just watched. So I'm gonna go full screen, and you got to keep in mind that these are time lapse, so they're probably gonna be a little shakier. Or okay, look at that one's doing the same thing. Okay, I wish I would have kept record. I probably ran out of battery, but oops, I should have just hit. We'll watch this one a few times, and sorry about that. I don't have you in the right spot. Okay, we'll watch this one a few times because it's only 15 seconds. Do you see it? It's almost as if it's going down into the thick air. We'll watch it again. It's disappearing from the bottom side up, but it's still there. What I'm trying to show is that there's a different way to look at it. That's all I'm trying to say. Oh, and Happy New Year to everyone, or what is that, tomorrow? Whatever. Slow it down, Tony says. There's more, Tony. I have some slower ones, and I spent about an hour going through some and grabbing some of them. Keep in mind what we're seeing, like, not with the drone so much, but, oh, that's probably too far. That's too far. I'm just trying to find a good spot here to, like, there we go, that's a good one. It's, when we're watching from the drone, when we're watching the drone ones, it's more realistic because we're not zoomed in so far. But here's, let's see, is this the one we just did? We'll watch it one more time. Oh no, this is a different one? No, this is the same one. Okay. Sorry guys. Oh, I gotta go full screen. And, wow, we're gonna watch it again, don't worry. Okay, I'll give you the full screen version. Okay, here's the full screen version of it. See, we're not zoomed in, so it looks a little bit more like it would in reality. From the ground, you can't see the sun. Like usually when I put the drone up, the sun is like almost like when I just get above the trees, the sun is like touching the horizon usually. Or that's where I try to get it, because it takes so long to go down and you only have so many minutes with the drone, obviously. And I don't even remember exactly how many minutes. It's somewhere around 20 minutes. It might be even more than that, but probably not at this point. Okay, so I'm going to keep that one open because that is an interesting one. Okay, sunset. Okay, we already watched that. Okay. Oh, here's another video that I made 6 years ago, guys. I've been thinking about this stuff for 6 years. Okay, and I actually made a video on my phone just the other day, and I didn't upload it. I was going to maybe edit it or something. Of a jet flying over. and the dome that it creates, if it leaves a trail, it does a dome, or it how do I describe that? If you look at the trajectory and the trail or whatever, if you look one way, if you say where you first saw it is on your left, and you watch it go over you, and it goes down on your right, or it like goes away on your right, it's doing the exact same thing that the sun and moon are doing. Anything that's flying away from you, it's going down towards the horizon. It appears to go down towards the horizon, even though it's parallel with the surface. So it's flying in a straight line, say, above the surface, which is straight, flat, we know, flat, and that's how the airplane flies. You don't fly in a curve or an arc, especially that you would notice. Think how perspective works. I'm facing due east right now. MC Toon and a lot of these people run with the idea. Thank you, Chillster Deluxe. I'm sorry I can't do anything about it. I don't know. I got to figure out something with my computer, and that's live streaming hasn't. So, but if you look at the path of that jet trail or whatever, and you notice that, like, when it would let me go to the other part, sorry. Let's see. I'm trying to get where I'm pointed in the other direction. There we go. Okay, let's go right there. Okay, see how it's going down, down, down. See where this tree is? How close is that to the horizon? Not very close. Like, the horizon would be about down here, right? So this angle right here, because the MC Toon and those guys, they fly with the idea that on a flat Earth, you'd always be able to see the sun because it'd be up in the sky and it'd always be visible, no matter how far away it was. Well, they're not thinking of the fact that in this video, how long did it take that jet to fly over me? 8 minutes. I think it's about 8 minutes, probably, maybe even less. So in 8 minutes time, that jet, how far did it go? MC Toon, how far did it go? It was out of my view, probably, 100 miles from me? Or who knows? I'm just saying the trees block it, for one. So anything going away from you will appear to go down towards the horizon, just like if you're at a bowling alley, and if you extended the bowling lanes further and further out, when you bowled, you realize that the bowling ball, when you first threw it, you had to look down at it, and then as it goes towards its target, your eyes are going up, aren't they? Okay, it works the same upside down, right side up. And that's just the way, that's, again, like I was starting in the beginning, that's the way it works to be alive. That's how it's constructed. There's a ground, there's trees, there's a sky, and you can't see the whole sky. You can only see the sky that's above you. And like Jaren and those guys, they even have kind of a word made for it, kind of describing I think they say a personal atmospheric dome. Everyone's got one following them around everywhere they go. Like, and there, it is a truth. It is true. I mean, I don't know. Some people would probably want to ridicule that idea or mock it or whatever, but it's the truth. And I got an example too that we'll look at, a Simon Dan video that I wanted to just point out something that's horribly dishonest, so bad, that Simon Dan put in one of his videos. Like, I just want to ask you the question: if you're okay with being dishonest with yourself and with others, that's not okay. Because if I can point it out, and yeah, maybe we'll go there right now. Let's go there right now. I'm just gonna, actually, you know what I can do? I can just use this video right here. We'll just go right from here. I'm being patient with my computer today. Simon Dan. Let's look at this. Is something that happened quite a few years ago with Nathan Thompson and a guy, Tanner, Flat Earth Millionaire. Okay, so where is, we'll just go, I don't remember which video it was. It was, oh, maybe it was the River Nile. Whatever, it was, I think it was his last video. Just yesterday or something. Yeah, it must be this one. And I will skim to the part and I'll be able to find the part.
Yo, are you still trying to lose weight with exercise alone? Guys, it ain't gonna happen without...
Sorry, guys. I just want to show you pure dishonesty. Oh, maybe this isn't the video. Yeah, this isn't the video. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, right here. Okay. So here's Simon Dan. Check this out. Oh, we get another ad. Sorry, guys. This world.
Oh, here we go.
There's my money, right next to my mouth.
Okay.
Good one. And
at
this
this.
one from the Flat Earth Millionaire.
You know, observing, measuring, and repeating water sticking to a ball. You know, it didn't even have to be spinning. We just want to see water conforming to the exterior of a ball.
Okay, shouldn't be too difficult. Here we go.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my...
And today...
I'm trying to get my... I was trying to go full screen, but I'm having troubles here, so... Did you guys catch that? So, Flat Earth Millionaire, they put out a challenge. This was quite a few years ago. Nathan Thompson and Flat Earth Millionaire, they put out a challenge for money. Like if someone could demonstrate... excuse me. If someone could demonstrate exactly what he's going to say here.
I'm going to respond to another...
Conforming to the exterior of a ball.
Okay, shouldn't be too difficult. Here we go.
Okay, now I'm going full screen. So Simon Dan says this is his idea of water sticking to the bottom of a ball. But tell me what's happening at the bottom of this ball. Simon Dan, you're a liar. And you're lying to yourself. That's the worst part about it. You could lie to other people, and it feels like that wouldn't even be as bad. But you're lying to yourself. Yourself, the very person that teaches your children what is real and what truth is. This is not water. The water is clearly not sticking to the bottom of this ball. So whether it's a joke to you, or you think that it's clever, or if you actually think that water is sticking to the bottom of this ball, I would just have to say that you are greatly in error. Because that's why they have to have a pump. Yeah, because this has a pump, and it pumps the water to keep the thing turning, or to keep it, so it's not just sitting there. How in the world would you put... Let me just play this again. I don't get it, Dan. And this is not for Dan. This is for anybody that's watching. Don't let yourself be dishonest with yourself. I mean, come on.
Flat Earth Millionaire.
You know, observing, measuring, and repeating water sticking to a ball. You know, it didn't even have to be spinning. We just want to see water conforming to the exterior of a ball.
Okay. And why would they want to see water? Why are they putting out that challenge? They're putting out the challenge because it's impossible to do that. And supposedly we live on one of these balls that has water clung to it. It's just not real. But the debate aside, Dan, why do you lie to yourself? Why are you dishonest with your own heart?
Okay, shouldn't be too difficult. Here we go.
Yeah.
And today I'm going to respond to another one. Now,
Wow. So yeah, stop lying to yourself, Dan. You're not doing yourself any good. Not at all. And you got a channel that people go to. You could be honest with yourself, because you're very, and that's your channel, and that's kind of the point of it or whatever, and that's the fun part of it or whatever. That's great, but the bias is not right. You have many things that you have learned about because of this debate in these recent years that you didn't know before, Dan. And if you could admit that to yourself even, and that's just the problem I see. They've chosen a way, and they, like Dan, he's chosen a side. He's like, no, I know this is true. And then as he learns about some things he didn't know, he has to do things like this and lie to himself so he can stay believing what he wants, what he feels secure believing or whatever. Don't do it, Dan. Really. Like I still am hopeful that people like MC Toon and Craig from Fight the Flat Earth, and I'm just using these names because these are kind of the popular, they're the channels that I know anyway. That they'll learn some things, and I've talked to those channels, and they even openly admit that they have learned so much because of this debate that they didn't know, or that they heard about and needed to brush up on, or didn't know how something worked, and now they completely understand it or whatever. The knowledge has been increased on both sides of, no matter what you think the shape of the earth is. We've learned a lot about all of it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this video we're going to come back to. Okay, this is a sunset. Now I want to point some things out, of course. So let's go full screen. And this is also a time lapse, which will be obvious. Okay. Do you see that? For your info, that's not what it looks like to your eyes. I mean, people say, well, the camera's not lying. Well, I know it's not lying, but the camera's zoomed in, and it's magnifying the whole image. So everything is a little different than you see it in reality, in real life. And let's see. Let's look at the water. Now, this isn't the best video. I don't even know what it's at 720, I guess. That's the best I got on there. Okay. So tell me this. See the sun? It's getting close to those trees. Okay. Now, what does your eye see when you're just looking at this? You just see the sun is like touching the ground, right? That's what you see. But what about now? Well, the sun's going into the ground. Whether you're at the ocean or whatever, that's what you see right now on the screen. The sun is like going down into the ground. Right? It's like, yeah, where'd that big sun go? Of course we live on a globe. That's not what's happening. First of all, this water that we're looking across is 14 miles of water. And then there's trees, and even what appears so crazy to me, because when I stand there with my eyes, I can't see those trees. Not at all. So our optics that we have now are really advanced, I'll say, and we can see things so far away that our eyes can't see. And then we assume that that's how our eye would see it. But it's not. Okay, is the sun actually in the ground? Or is it just so far away that those trees are covering it up? Look, as it just goes away, look at this light in the sky, okay? Just watch. As the sun goes away, or I guess you gotta watch on that little thing. That light just goes away with it, but it follows it. See that? How it follows it? Okay, so that was Mille Lacs Lake. Let's watch another drone video. Okay, here's another one that I think maybe we watched this one already, but this might be a different version of it. We're gonna watch it again if it. Yeah, this is the first one we watched. Here, I'll zoom in. You'll remember. That was the first one we watched. And as the drone's going down, it just disappears even more. Kind of weird, though. Okay. So I'm going to close that tab because we've seen that one. This one I think we've watched too. Well, I've watched it. I don't know about you, but that's the whole point. I'm trying to show them. I'm trying to show them to you, not me. So let's just watch this. I think we might have seen this one. Okay, the drone's going up in this one. No, we didn't see this one yet, did we? Let's see. I'll zoom in a little bit. Look at that. Maybe we did see that one. To silence a flat earther. No, I don't want to watch that. Alright. Why would... See, like, it's like that. How to silence a flat earther. Is the things I'm saying right now stuff that should be silenced? Like, honestly, would you think that the stuff I'm saying and showing you, should it be silenced? How to silence a flat earther? I don't know why you'd want to silence anyone. It's just kind of weird. Sun disappears is what this video is called. This is also a time lapse. But this one we haven't seen yet. Well, if you've been on my channel, you might have seen it because I've uploaded it before. I'm just waiting for full screen. There we go. And let's see here. Let's just watch this. It's weird. The sun sets up in the sky. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, people would be like, what are you talking about? Like, the sun goes down into the ground, but it's up in the sky. Like, the sun goes and sets, but it's staying in one spot. And by the way, if you want to see some other drone videos, like the same type of videos that I'm showing you, go to DITRH. He has a lot of those on his channel. I think on his channel. But otherwise, if you go to flatearthdave.com, I'm sure he's got stuff there too. But let's watch this sun. And I will, you know what? How close do you want to be? Let's zoom in right now. Should we look from about there? I don't want to get too close or it gets like so grainy. Okay, let's just watch from there. So I'm going up still. See, as I'm going up, now the sun's disappearing from the bottom side up. But it's not anywhere near the ground. It's nowhere near the horizon. Well, it's near it, but it's not. There it is. See you later. Let's watch it again. That's a sunset to me. Like, I'm not saying I live at 1,500 feet, but that's just what it looks like from up there. And it gives me a better idea of what we're seeing from the ground. Or, you know, it gives you more insight. Okay, hey teacher, I thought the sun moved 15 degrees per hour. It does. But, okay, so there's that one. Here we got another one. And then I'm saving one of the things for or not one of the things. Let's see here. Sun is moving over the earth. I don't remember which one this is, but we'll watch it. I'll stay zoomed in, I guess. Oh yeah, this one's weird, you guys. Huh? Don't worry, we'll watch it. I got to get it on the center of the screen, and we'll watch it again. But that's weird. Let's watch it again. Okay, let me give you a reference point here. Okay, see this tower? Right here. That's about 4 or 5 miles from my house, and you can actually kind of keep that. And there's actually another reference on here, but it's probably too small to see on this screen. Yeah, I'll show you that on another video, because I'll be looking the same direction. Okay, let's watch this again. Should I zoom in a little bit more? Because it's really weird. Okay, I know it's grainy, but watch. Sorry. There's one. It's just going that into the ground. It looks like I don't know. How to silence a flat earther is up there again. That crazy. Get out of here.
You dare let that little rat
Sorry,
dog
guys.
whiz on my walkway.
I guess he's trying to silence me even without even playing his video. Okay, this one here is the 2160p version. So, okay, here's a reference point that I was talking about. See right there, there's a big plume. There's a, I don't know what it is, some kind of big smokestacks over there. They're probably about like 40 or 50 miles away. But, so there's a couple things that you can reference. And let's just watch this. This one is a little slower, so this is the actual 2160 version. It kind of just flattens out and kind of goes and disappears. That's really weird. So there's that. Alright. I'm going to close that one down. Close that one down. We're almost done. Close that one down. Is it this one? Maybe, oh, this is a private one. Ooh. I didn't publicize this one. Oops. You're in the wrong spot. I think we already might have watched this one, though. Right? Oh, that, maybe not. No, we didn't even see that one yet. That was weird. Did you see that? Obviously, it's time-lapsed, but look at this. Maybe we did that. Maybe we did see that one. I don't know. Pretty weird. Okay, and we get rid of this page. Cool. Sorry, I know you're all, Okay, let's watch this video, just for fun. How does the sun set on flat Earth? Look at that. I made a little thumbnail with that, kind of like how it sets up in the air, kind of. It's weird. So let's go full screen, and we'll watch this. And then I'll come back. Let's talk about the sun. How does the sun set on flat Earth? Does it make any sense? Well, to me it does, and I want to show you one way to understand it. Doesn't mean the sun sets this way every time, because weather is always different and the air is always a different condition, and it's unpredictable. But on clear days, we notice certain things, and on days that aren't as clear, we notice other things. And this is just going to show you a way to understand it that may be different from what you understand on a globe. Watch this video, and I think you will be able to see something happening that you might not have thought about before. But the sun is being blocked out by the thick air near the ground when it is far enough away. And the light doesn't end up making it through all the air, which we can see here. Notice how the sun appears to stop going down towards the horizon when it gets there. Now these are time lapses, and the 36 times speed and the 6 times speed is much faster than in reality. So you have to realize that the sun is getting to that point and it's just kind of sitting there in the same spot and disappearing. This doesn't happen every time the sun goes down, but these are videos that I've taken with my drone from about 1,500 feet in altitude. So the sun is washed out by the thickness of the air down low to the ground. Watch as it starts to set before it makes it to the horizon, and it starts to set from the bottom side up, just as it would if you were at the ocean and it was appearing to go down into the water. The bottom would disappear first. If you are so confident in your understanding of how things work in this world, you won't begin to understand things in different ways. And I think it's important to understand things in more than one way if possible, because it's probably not just one way. Sometimes we are wrong about things and should choose the truth when it becomes known to us. This is just one example of how thinking can change by looking from a different perspective. So I want to show you this. And as you can see in these videos, it's almost self-explanatory what is happening here, blocking out the bottom of the sun, working its way up towards the top of the sun. It's that thick air. So when you're down on the ground, you might not even see the sun. It might be gone already. So that was just one way that you can understand how, if the sun is going away from you, how it eventually will disappear, because there's going to be trees and things that are going to block it from your view, even if it's way above the earth. You can't see the sun from everywhere in the world. It has a limit of distance that it shines, and that's why we have day and night. So that's my explanation. Thanks for listening. Alright, so that was all the videos I was going to... Yeah, so what happens on New Year's? Party? Party? I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, that was it. That's all I had for you. Let's see if I had anything else for comedy's sake. I don't know. A complaint came to my office today, and she was muted. Hold on.
Yes. How did I end up on the Effed Up World TV channel? I didn't sign up for this.
She just complains. And then there's this guy.
And you know what? Let me tell you something. I'm sick of it, and I'm not going to back down, and I'm sick of people not backing me up on this. And you know what? If you're not going to back us up, then get out of here. We don't need your help. You know what? We have hundreds of people. Hundreds of people here.
Hundreds.
And you know what?
We got hundreds.
Now again,
Uh-oh.
this is the great curve
The great curve.
they talk about, plus or minus.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all you hear, that's
Flatten
what
the
you hear
curve.
every day on TV. You see this curve. We must flatten the curve.
Flatten the
the
curve.
curve. Flatten the curve. Flatten the curve.
He's talking about that. Oh, hold on. See what he was actually talking about this thing. You know, the crown thing. But I put this in there for him because he's also talking about the curvature of the earth. The supposed curvature of the earth.
Concept is right. Flatten the curve. When they say this, I don't think of a curve. I think of a wave. And the wave is going to break. We're doing everything we can to flatten the curve. Everybody on the globe is flatten the curve.
Everybody on the globe, flatten the curve. Alright. Oh, that was my outro. Okay. How about Oh man, I could play that one. Let's go back maybe a year or a year and a half, huh? Let's get in YouTube trouble. I'm just kidding. This is on my channel, so I know that they don't care. This one's called Masked Hysteria. Like, and I meant that title like in a literal sense. Like, literally masked hysteria.
Wow, this is gonna be first of many.
Upgrade the vaccines just makes common sense. One layer, you put another layer on it.
You're gonna have to take that off, please.
You have a physical covering with double masking.
You're very muffled.
Upgrade the vaccines. Double masking. You have a physical covering with one layer. You put another layer on it. Just makes common sense.
Excuse me, sir. Why are you not wearing a mask?
I have numerous complex systems which could be adversely affected. Don't mention it.
This is your brain on the mask. Any questions? When they keep touching their face.
This is what happens to your brain after
The mask.
This is what your body goes through.
With masks.
Wait, it's not over yet. This is what your family goes through. Your friends and money. Back to the future. And your life. Any questions?
And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Workers will be sent home and you will not be allowed in.
Normal temperature. Normal temperature. Normal temperature. Normal temperature. High temperature.
All right, listen to this. A local Chinese restaurant is taking drastic measures to keep the staff and customers from the coronavirus. So no one is allowed to be seated without a temperature check. So the temperature check may be the new norm as this virus continues to spread.
I have passed out probably 6 times in the past 6 weeks.
You have to move back. You have to remember your spacing. Move back. It's too close. If you can touch the person in front of you, that means you're way too close. If you can touch the person in front of you, you can can touch the person in front of you, that means you're way too close.
Right now, since you guys were talking about Faithful Word Baptist Church, I'll just leave this right here.
In 1973, when I got saved, nobody was talking about a flat earth. I have read the documents, the commentaries, the productions of many wise men down through the years, and not a one of them was talking about a flat earth. Let me tell you something this morning, and you please hear what I've got to say. This is important. When all this stuff started bouncing back in my face a few months ago, I said to myself, well, these are brothers and these are sisters. They know the Lord, they love the Lord. We can abide together. We may not all see things exactly the same, but if we have the same Holy Spirit, we can dwell together as brethren. That was my attitude toward it, and I tried to project that attitude.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
And all of a sudden now, all these Christians, the Bible says it's fine. You know?
And I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. They shall be turned back. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images, that say to the molten images, Ye are our gods.
Then all of a sudden, 8-9 years ago, this flat earth movement comes out, or maybe even more recently than that.
Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled, who among them can declare this, and show us former things. Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, It is truth.
The idea of the flat earth crowd that's driving a wedge between God's people is sowing discord among the brethren.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household.
So it's so ridiculous. And you know, these flat earthers, it's their whole religion. They're obsessed with it. We've had flat earthers in our church that just is all they talk about. All they talk about. I mean, I had this guy.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come.
Finally just got in his face and yelled at him because I'm just like, I don't care about the flat earth. I'm sick of you talking to me. What do you not understand when I said I have no interest? I'm not interested.
It's because they have no respect for the man of God. That's not the world I was saved into. The world I was saved into in 1973, we respected the man of God. We may not have agreed with everything you had to say. Oh, no. That's okay to think. You don't have to agree with everything, but we respected God's man.
They say, well, the Bible says the sun rises and sets. Therefore, flat earth. Okay, well, and there.
I just got to pause it really quick because I see in the chat Trisha's welcome says, my son's a flat earther, yet he goes to Faithful Word every Wednesday and Sunday. And you know what? I think that's good. That's good. That's probably what God's telling him to do, I think. That's my guess. Because people at Faithful Word probably need to hear about it just as much, like, if not more, than other people. And you know what the interesting thing about it is? If it's not a secret that a person's a flat earther, like if it's public information, it's like they don't have to even talk about it because people don't want to talk to them about it because they make too many points that break down the people's reality, that break it down and say, no, that's not real. And so that's why these pastors react this way. That's why, because they hate it. But Jesus did say that we'd be hated for his name's sake. He did create this flat earth. Think about it.
They're like, well, that means the sun's moving. Obviously, it's just talking from the perspective of where we're standing, that the sun's moving.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
But how many of you ever seen a photograph of this blue planet? It's a beautiful thing. Chuck Colson got saved. He wrote this about astronauts who found God. He said, Frank Borman was commander of the first space crew to travel beyond the Earth's orbit. Looking down on the earth from 250,000 miles, Borman radioed back a message, quoting Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And he later explained, he said, I had an enormous feeling that there had to be power greater than any of us, that there was a God, that there was indeed a beginning. How many of you have ever seen a photograph? And I know if you're a flat earther, you deny the photograph even exists. You know it's all fabricated. It's all a hoax.
But if we believe the basic traditional scientific view of the way the universe is laid out, leave me alone!
A beautiful thing. Listen to this. The late James Irwin, who walked on the moon in 1971, later became an evangelist minister. He often described the lunar mission as a revelation. In his words, he said, I felt the power of God as I had never felt it before. Charles Duke followed Irwin to the moon, later became active in ministry work. As he explained, he said, I make speeches about walking on the moon and walking with the Son of God. Guy Gardner is a veteran astronaut who speaks in churches on the reality of God. And on and on and on it goes. And then we have the Jeffrey Williams. This astronaut spent 534 days in space. He's a born-again Christian. Jeffrey Williams loves the Lord. He took thousands of photographs and videos from the space station as it moved in the heavens above the earth. It such a magnificent sight, it took his breath away. Right now, you can log on to the internet if you want to. And you can go to the International Space Station, the ISS, and you can get a live feed from that space station. Right now, you can watch it as it moves across the face of the earth. Did you know, folks, that there are over 4,000 satellites right now in the heavens? 4,000 satellites are going around this globe right now, 4,000 of them. You're telling me that thousands and thousands and thousands of people, including all these Christian astronauts, are nothing but liars and fakers. You're telling me that it's all a sham, that it's all a fakery, and that's all you can say. Because I really would, I don't know how much courage you've got. I would like for you to look Jeffrey Williams in the face The astronaut that spent 535 days in orbit of this earth. I would like for you to look him in the face, and he's a Christian. He loves the Lord. And look him in the face and tell him he's a liar and a deceiver. You got the courage to do it? Send him an email. And say, I think you're a fake. I think you're a fakery. I think that NASA is it's all created garbage. It's all made to deceive people. There is no such thing as a round earth. Would you do that? If you have the convictions that what you believe is true, why don't you do it? Go further into it. Search it out. And now Elon Musk is the Trump card. I hate to use the word Trump. I mean, I'm not against Trump. I appreciate a lot of stuff he's done, believe me. But, you know, it can become childish after a while. But Elon Musk is sending up huge rockets into the space, right? He's sending these rockets up. Do you know what he plans to do next? He's going to put people on them and send them up to the moon. The people that have the money, they're going to go up to the moon. What are they going to do? They're going to look out the windows and photograph the earth. Think of all these people that are going to be going up. And this is a few years. It's not long in the future. And they're going to be photographing this round, blue, beautiful planet out here in space. They're going to photograph it, and they're going to come back and talk about how beautiful that this earth is. What will you do then? When you are faced with overwhelming evidence from so many different areas, what will you do then? Will you stick with your flat earth doctrine? But flat earth doctrine is causing discord among the brethren.
Do you understand? The sun's moving, everything's moving. The sun's moving, the earth's moving.
That tells me that there's something going on that's greater than a flat earth thing.
Folks, get a brain. What's the sermon about? Get a brain. And you know what? If you're one of these flat earthers, please, for the love of all that's holy, get off those YouTube videos. Get off those websites and go to some real sources of learning. Go to the library and get a library card. It's free. I will buy you whatever book you want.
This crowd today has no respect for the man of God.
Oh, if we could just get people to believe in God, then they'll be saved. Really?
It has to do with the demonic attack upon the church from the inside.
What we see here is that the earth could be filled with water to where the highest mountain is covered, right?
We don't need somebody who's carried about and tossed about with every wind of internet crap.
Okay, give me a break.
And so I don't want anything to do with it. And this flat earth thing, people will say, yeah, but, you know, if we could just get people to believe in
the flat earth, then they'll realize there's a God and they'll believe in God.
Satan wants to destroy the church from within.
If gravity's so strong, then how did Michael Jordan jump so high? To give you the message of the Big Bang. I am the God. I mean, look, hey, he's going to say, hey, you've heard of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? I'm the God of Captain Kirk. I'm the God of Spock. I'm the God of Captain Sulu. You know, I'm here to tell you the truth of the cosmosity.
Do you know what the secular world thinks about us? When they are in possession of that enormous amount of material that proves that this earth is a globe, do you know what they think about us? Do you know what we look like to them? I'm not one bit interested in whether I'm accepted by the world or not. But I'm going to tell you something, folks. I'm not going to go out of my way to make myself look like a fool. I'd do that without going out of my way. What do you think they think of you when you start that?
Learn! There are hundreds of thousands, yea, millions of people watching these videos. If you look at these flat earth videos, they have hundreds of thousands of views, and just the thumbs up are just thousands and thousands of thumbs up. Look, I put up a video preaching against flat earth where I just mentioned it a few minutes in a sermon. 1,000 thumbs down.
1,000 thumbs down. 1,000 thumbs down. 1,000 thumbs down.
I wonder why, Pastor Anderson. Haha. So that, I think, is a wrap. It's a wrap. And let's see here. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I've got. I can remind you of this, though, on the way out. Thank you guys for hanging, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for showing up.